Morning, Mikey. Good morning, Trade Pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Monday, February 2nd of 2026. We're going to get started momentarily. Just doing a quick little sound check with everybody. I hope you've all had a great weekend. It's go time. I'm finally recovering from my bronchitis because ain't nobody got time for that. And let's get started with the week. I'm going to put on the camera. All right, let's do this. Hi guys. Been a long time. I missed you over the weekend. Here's the update for today. Equity futures are weak across the board. Not good. S&P down 0.7, NASDAQ down over percentage point. Seeing a lot of rotation out of tech on a broad scale, not just, and it's reflecting on NASDAQ. NASDAQ's been weaker than the ES, even on the upside attempts. All right, Russell's down 0.9%. Small caps are also off. NVIDIA down 1.6, weighing in on tech in the whole market this morning. All right, Wall Street Journal reported that a $100 billion deal for NVIDIA to invest in OpenAI had stalled. And Jensen Huang went on the wire to talk. And I always think it's a bad idea for CEOs to talk when things like this are happening, because he goes on an interview to clarify things and confirms the report. All right, he's asked, what about this $100 billion? He goes, oh, no, we're still doing a deal. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing has stalled. And they're like, okay, is it $100 billion? And he's like, no, nothing that big. So you just confirmed everything that Wall Street Journal just printed. And so markets went bananas after that and sold NVIDIA. This is now your CEO trying to defend an article to make it seem like it wasn't true, but confirmed everything within the article. Yeah, I don't know. This is the world we live in. A lot of people need to, as CEOs, be also the brand. Like Elon Musk, I think, started a lot of this, is being the vocal kind of out there CEO. Maybe I started it, though, because I'm kind of the vocal out there CEO. I don't know. Who cares? NVIDIA down. All right, Oracle down 3.5% as well. Planning $50 billion raise for cloud infrastructure. Oracle is down. All right. Precious metals, oh my gosh. Precious metals are bloodbathing. Warsh is going on there, right? We know Warsh was kind of the guy that is now pinpointed to be the new Fed chair, and it's a surprise pick considering he is anti-stimulus, he is anti-low rates, he's a very hawkish Fed chair. Surprising pick for Donald Trump, considering the Fed is supposed to have independence. And that triggered the bloodbath in metals. All right, because Lord forbid we get a Fed chair who doesn't want to keep stimulating the economy and printing money and circulating it in there. And it probably started with the small liquidation on people saying, holy crap, the whole reason gold is up is because we spent so much of $1 trillion in circulating this in the economy and doing quantitative easing, quantitative pleasing. And like, and this is the Peter Schiff agenda for gold too. It's like gold should be higher, and it should be higher. And all of a sudden we get wind of a hawkish federal chair and everyone loses it and starts moving their stops. We get one liquidation, everyone starts selling at a second liquidation, deeper liquidation. And now here we are. Gold's down 4.6% overnight, trading back to 4,400 after hitting, like 51 or 5,200. All right. Silver getting crushed, down 16% at session lows after being over $100. Now it's 71. And it all started with Friday's Warsh Fed chair nomination. It triggered a historic sell-off. But look, at the end of the day, this is what should be happening. All right. Crude oil collapses. Iran and U.S. are having discussions. That dialogue is not going well. Kind of hard to talk more on this situation without being political. We made a strong stance that politics is not part of our channel. All right, but Trump said Iran is seriously talking with Washington. So, hey, Iran meeting potentially planned this week in Turkey. Okay, weird start to the week. We got iguanas falling off of trees. We got like gold prices falling. Like the iguanas and gold are rushing to see who can hit the ground faster. Like, guys, there was an iguana that was on the ground. My son's like, is he sleeping? And I'm like, yeah, buddy, he's sleeping. I'm like, he's poking him with a stick. I guess because he fell off the tree. Poor guy cracked his skull, or I don't know what happened. Blood just starts coming out. I'm like, he's going to move. Don't worry. And then he was in bed last night. I had to go scoop him off the driveway so I could be like, yeah, he's gone. See, he woke up. Oh, kids. But yeah, this is crazy. There's iguanas just falling off the trees and just upside down, just chilling all over my lawn. I could show you, but weird start to the week. It's really cold in Florida these last 2 days. All right, today's catalyst, iguanas falling off of trees. ISM manufacturing at 10 a.m. for sure, key data. After having some weakness in the Chinese PMIs, it's going to be interesting to see what's happening here in the U.S. We have Treasury refunding announcement. It's typically an important one. That's this afternoon at 3 p.m. And that's where we're at. Okay, the week ahead, here's a U.S. market mover events very quickly, and then we're going to turn around and I'm going to do I have 2 more things to do with you before the charts. But yeah, let me just go through this part, and then we're going to turn around and set up for the trading day because I realize you guys probably value that part the most, right? I know you guys like news, my take on news, but maybe some people don't like news as much. I'm trying to balance it with some chart work behind me. All right, Monday, today, manufacturing, obviously PMI in the U.S. Tuesday, we have U.S. JOLTS opening and labor turnover survey at 10 a.m. Eastern. Wednesday, we have ADP employment, private payrolls report, which means, it's coming up Friday. Treasury quarterly refunding announcement also out of Wednesday. ISM services and factory orders. Wednesday's a big, big day in the U.S. Mark down your calendar. Thursday, weekly jobless claims. And Friday, the all-important non-farm payrolls jobs report. You knew that was coming. How did you know that was coming? Well, the moment you had ADP numbers. ADP numbers typically come out Wednesday morning, and they're look for the Friday a couple days after to give us some insight in what could be happening in the labor market. All right. Consensus 80,000 payrolls there. Unemployment expected to be steady, yada, yada. That's going to change and finalize as we head into Thursday. So we're going to cover this on Thursday for what we're seeing for the following day. And then usually around 7 p.m. Thursday night, I do an X post at George Papazov, which is my name, which is in the little bar here. It should be or was before. And give you the preview. And then Friday, we do the breakdown and what it could mean for the rest of the day. All right. That's it. Let's turn around. And before I turn around, I want to tell you this. I can't believe it's tomorrow. All right. I'm excited today for tomorrow and for today. Today, I got such a cool day lined up. I got taxes. Yay. And I'm meeting one of our members in person for lunch, which is really exciting for me. That part I'm really looking forward to. And taxes. Taxes. And then tomorrow, guys, at 7 p.m. Eastern time, so as many people could join as possible, from the West Coast to the East Coast. We made it 7 p.m. Eastern. I invite you as a last invite. I am not kidding you. I would not lie about this stuff. I hate when marketers do time-limited selling that isn't true. Like there's limited amounts of seats. I have the Zoom 500 webinar, and we're crossing the 500 registrations for this event, which means if everyone's signed up shows up, there isn't going to be enough seats officially. It's not a lie. But what happens, I think, with Zoom when you don't have enough seats is you get the replay link after. You're going to get the replay link anyways. Link in the description. Sign up to this webinar. Show up 10, 15, 20 minutes late. Or, sorry, let me wind that back. Show up 10, 15, 20 minutes earlier. That way you claim the seat in the webinar. I got such great things I'm going to share with you. Real-time execution. Give you my Sierra charts template if you attend live. And what else was I going to give you? A lot of value. That's what I was going to give you. It's going to be such an exciting event. I'm very excited. I feel it. I love talking to you guys, and their interaction that happens in these events to me is very special. I look forward to seeing you there tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Link in the description. Click it. Just be there. That's it. Simple as that. Let's turn around and do a trading plan. Let me move this camera out of the way. Knocked this camera over so many times and it hasn't broken. It's pretty impressive. All right, let me see what you guys are up to here. Let me read the comments. I don't know why the heck they're all the way up there. Good morning, Joseph. OTM, my brother Marco. Go time. Bro time. We in this together. My brother. Good morning. William, good morning to you, sir. We in this together. We are in this together. And thank you. I'm doing 100%. I'm pretty much there, 90%. I'd say things are good. The meds are kicking in. My energy levels are coming back. Played hockey last night. I'm a little sore. And we lost in the semifinals for playoffs. That's fine. I'm not that worried. Great, G. It's Gerald Thunderberg. You had interviewed me a few years ago for your podcast. Oh, howdy, sir. How you doing? Maybe Don wants an enemy in the Fed to complain about and blame. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Morning, TTF, Triangle Trading Floor. Yeah, Mikey. Pretty traumatic event for my kids. These cold-blooded lizards. Raining cold-blooded lizards in Florida. Feedback on your sound. I have a little feedback. I do? Thank you. Is it still there? I'm going to figure that out after. I think I know what's going on. I think I have to mute the mic on the Apollo Twin. No echo now? Okay, maybe it was YouTube rendering. Is your workshop going to be a basic order flow course or more of an advanced workshop or both? Are we in this together? I'm going to try to do a little bit of both. I'm going to give some really basic concepts to start and then give you very in-depth information about the footprint chart of how I use it in my execution and some ideas, including my template of how you could start applying it to see some benefit to it. And then I'm also launching an entirely new trading room and product for the first time in 2.5 years. So, I didn't want to promote it based on that because some people might not care, but for those of you that have been around and that have supported and know me for a long time, like it's tied to a launch as well for a new product, and you guys are going to be shocked at what it is and how simple it is to get it. All right. It's cheaper than things are now on our website. Everyone's expecting this, like, oh, how much is it going to be? It started the new year. It's going to be less than what you could pay on the website right now. I'm back to my ridiculous marketing because, like, I care about you guys, and I don't care to have these, like, crazy, like, time-limited offers. Like, you know what I mean? Anyways. Nice. Glad to hear. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, let's get into the trading plan today. Open up my notes. Okay, here it is. You can see these are the notes I used for that whole morning market update. Here's the story. We like to tell stories. Everyone likes to listen to stories too. We opened up on Friday at 69.67 quarter. All right, this here was the open. And then we took a rip higher. One time failed, second time failed. I guess you call this 3 times failed. Not really in our zone. This like high 70s didn't work, but the 4th and 5th time into that level was textbook execution into our zone and just below the 7,000 flip zone we had for Friday. All right, because the flip zone was here, remember? So anywho's, we rally up there into that high 80, low 90. The team took a shot off it. We had a really good day in the trading room, and we were short. Off we go, all right? And then down we go. So in a series of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Typically, you have about 3 moves into a U.S. session. Anything more than 3 moves to the extension of any side of the trend in the day session usually caps the movement and then reverses overnight and continues the following day. Typically is the pattern. All right. Here, we set the high at 91 quarter yesterday on that last rotation. Then down we go, and we sold off into the low, setting the prior day low at 18.3 quarter. For all intensive purposes. Now that was interesting because the prior day low was actually just a couple ticks above the prior overnight level, which is great. The bulls contained the sell-off within the structure of price, which is very impressive. All right, then we take a rally higher. This looked good right back to the open. All right, and then we cash close at 70 quarter, which is 67 quarter, 73 points higher than we opened. So for all intents and purposes, this is a pretty bearish start to a day that finished pretty bullish. Up to here, we were good. 2 million contracts, 3rd highest trading day on Friday in terms of volume. All right, so that's the good. Now let's talk about the bad. The bad is when we reopened here in the Globex session, immediately we stay below the prior day cash close. We can't take out the cash close and hold it. All right, we gap lower and we sell off, and once again, a second time, we take a trip to the prior day low of 18.3 quarter, but do not break it and rally all the way back up. This looks pretty bullish, but then, ladies and gentlemen, we step on it. That forms an overnight high of 65.3 quarter. It's as high as we get. The high of the overnight session is below the close of the U.S. session on Friday. Things get hammered lower, and down we go, and I can't help but feel like a lot of this market downside is driven by liquidation for gold and silver and other assets, right? Because when gold goes down, gold's a leveraged product unless you have a lot of money to buy ounces and stockpile them. And if you do, then it's not easily convertible or tradable to money, because the fact that it's physical creates a limitation for you, and it's hard to get rid of. I forget the term, but it's not it's not readily accessible, I guess. The 3 tenets of money was readily accessible, store of value, and I forgot the third one. Easily divisible. But the thing is, you have gold, you have bricks in bags at home. You can't really do much with it, and there's a really high premium to the physical. So if you're trading the electronic, you're taking on leverage. All right? You're taking on the kind of leverage that you know that if you start hitting sell stops and things become unraveled, you could put yourself in a really bad situation. And this is what's happening. People are selling their equities and their positive bearing assets to pay for the margin calls in gold and silver. All right. And if you look at the equity market with the metals market, they're pretty correlated in that sense. And typically there's a correlation where gold goes up as equities go down. All right. It's not a strong enough correlation to say like I'm going to trade it, but it's around 60%, loosely correlated. But this time, gold and equities are moving lower for that reason. People are selling their stocks to pay for their stop and margin calls in gold and silver, especially on an institutional level. All right, down we go. 68.64 half is the overnight level that we pegged. 368,000 volume. Pretty bearish day, and then now we're back. Bulls for a third time. Bring us back to the middle of the day range on Friday. I don't know if this is going to be good enough. You already see how the trading plan is setting up. I do like that every time we come down, the bulls have rescued this trend, including this one. This one's kind of the biggest one. We drive it back to the middle range. I don't know if it's going to be enough. So here's the trading plan, and then this is how we're going to end it for today. All right, use the 69.65/70 area, which is why there. You got the prior day cash close. You got the overnight high. You got whole bunch of information up there that's really nice to use as a flip zone. Okay, anything below here, you're looking for short at key levels below that structure. 44 is kind of the first one here. If we start to see anything, why we got some big delta. It's a pretty interesting level with nice price action that's been contained within it. That's a good level. The next one up above that is the 52. Again, you got some delta here, some lows, some consolidation levels that price traded through. That's a good one. But ultimately, I'd love to see like the 69.65 area retest. If we come back up in here and we touch our flip zone, that's oftentimes the highest probability one. And it will be the last shot for the bears to take us lower, because every time we cross below that zone, 1, 2, we fail. 3, we break, but we retrace quickly. We would have to push lower ASAP. If we do start pushing lower, overnight or prior day low at 1875 is T1. That's our first target. Our second target is 6904, somewhere down here. That's T2. All right. Our third target for the day will be the 80. This is number 3. Notice how we're targeting before we break a low. All right, because if you wait until it breaks a low, you might as well keep being short. 56 is the next one down into here. This is 4, and the last one, I don't know if we're going to get down there, is 68.20. That's target 5 for the day. It's quite a heck of a move off of 65. All right, 130 points. I don't know if it's going to happen. That's the trade. I did put this above flip zone of 69.65. Longs are still fragile, but so is the short at that point. So that's why it's a flip zone. I don't necessarily want to be short up in here. A lot of rotational activity. I also don't want to be long, so I kind of just lose the narrative above 65.70. If we could squirt above 92, squirt out and retest, then we get bullish, but that's way up there. All right. Waiting for that order flow today. It is Monday. Monday is the kind of day that sets the tone for the week. Don't overdo it. Wait for the opportunity. Be patient. Monday tends to have a couple of head fakes built in there. Hopefully not before the good trade. All right. If bears can't move us lower into the session, in this U.S. session, we might start seeing upside again in the short to medium term. But let's wait and see. Let's watch order flow. I'm sore from shoveling the stupid snow. Marco, hang in there, brother. Snow shoveling really sucks, and it's a really great workout. And a lot of people, knock on wood, the more experienced people in life tend to have problems with it. You hear a lot about people being hospitalized and stuff. Just be careful, bro. It's a lot of work. But I get a sense you're in good shape anyways. Snow does not stand a chance against our trade pro Marco. Come on, Marco. Let's do this. See you guys in the room. Love you all a bunch. Hope you enjoyed today's morning market update. Hope to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. It's going to be a great event, great workshop. Got a lot of value planned for you, and I bid you farewell. Good luck trading.